Hello everyone, this is Promi, and welcome back to the Kerbal Commonwealth Space Agency. Sorry for the long wait since the last episode. I've been busy with getting everything ready for 1.0 and some other things as well. So, Halney has recovered from her first orbit. We now have Valentina in our crew roster, and the administrator, Henrietta, has laid out a set of near-term goals culminating with Kerbal boots on the surfaces of the Mune and Minmus. Before we embark on these grand adventures, we must investigate the extreme biomes on Kerbin to get points of reference to compare to the Mune and Minmus conditions. We need to set up a comm satellite in geostationary orbit over our space center. We need to establish a mapping satellite once we have the relevant technologies in a polar orbit around Kerbin. And then we need to send probes to the Mune and Minmus to make sure there is nothing unforeseen that would happen to our crews. In order to do all these, we are going to need to research some enabling technologies and do a fair amount of fundraising on the way. So, let's start with the fundraising, because we are still on mostly level 1 buildings here. We'll definitely want to upgrade our VAB so we can build more complex vessels, and our launch pad, and able to launch more heavy vessels. That's not that expensive, but the VAB will take slightly more money than we have at the moment. We'll also want to get visible orbits from our tracking station. And I think the others are okay for now. Oh, we'll need to upgrade our astronaut complex so that we can go on EVAs. Get some EVA training. And upgrading the runway would be nice as well, so it's not so bumpety. Okay, let's see what Jean's got going on right now. So we have a set of fairly standard contracts. Got one to explore the Mune, a large tourist contract, as well as a smaller one. This one's just for flights on Kerbin, so that should be a good way to raise some funds. I'm not going to accept it just yet. We also have some part test ones, and active right now we have these 3 from before. 2 for parachutes and 1 for testing the command pod in the water. They're fairly small contracts. I don't think they're going to be too interesting to watch, so I'm just going to quickly make up some test rigs and get this done real quick. Okay, that was a little underwhelming in terms of funds, but more importantly, we passed 45 science, so we can get another technology. So let's check in with Werner at the R&D. So, I think the choice here is between field experimentation, which has the ScanSat sensor, but more importantly the mystery goo, and then rocket engineering, which has bigger solid boosters, radial decouplers, and a vacuum engine. Both would come quite in handy, but I think mystery goo is the way to go. So hope I don't regret that. Let's research it and purchase the goo. Let's go back. Now I think I'm going to quickly do another circuit of our space center to get readings for all the biomes with the mystery goo. So let's take our R1 runabout and we will simply attach one of these new mystery goo containers onto the back. Perform some sample analysis with this. Let's recess it in a bit. Make it look nice and tidy. Make sure Bill can, or Bob rather, can reach it from the cabin. And we'll save that. And you've seen this process before, so we'll just cut through this real quick. Alright, Bill's driving notwithstanding, that was a pretty successful mission. Got 29 science. Got 100% of our value back. I guess the middle of the runway where I ended up is the right place to be for that. And Valentina got some experience for going along for the ride. So that's good. So we're at 31 science total. Let's check back in at mission control. So, can pick up this tourist contract now. They both want to go on suborbital flights as well as orbits around Kerbal. Let's see what else here. Science from space around Kerbal. That should be pretty easy. Just a good chunk of cash. Let's accept that. And what else do we have here? That one is pretty involved. Same with this one. Explore the Moon. Not quite yet. Test LV-909. Orbiting Kerbal. Possibly. What else we got here? Stack decoupler. That one's not great. This radial decoupler one will give us access to an experimental version of the radial decoupler, which will be quite handy. I think we'll accept that. And let's grab this one as well to test that smaller engine. Okay. So, got our 2 tourists, Nilbald and Silin. I think Jebediah will be the one to take them on their adventure. So let's go to the VAB. Okay, so we're going to start with the LV-2X from Halney's orbit. We don't actually have access to these radials anymore, so I'll take those off. Now, for 2 tourists, we're going to need 2 more cabins. So, take the parachute off, and we could use these lander cans, but I don't think they would survive re-entry. Fairly fragile. Could always use probe core to save on weight. I don't know if we'd want to trust our tourists to a probe core. So let's put 2 more of these cabins on here. It looks a little funny, but I think it'll work okay. Might cause a little bit of an aerodynamic issue, but we will find out. And we have those radial decouplers now, so we can put some side boosters on this. So let's move our fins to a 45-degree angle so we can put boosters on the side. Let's move these down a little bit. Just get snapping off. A little bit of control. There we go. Okay. Now, radial decouplers. So right there are experimental decouplers. It's a good thing we got our tourists to sign a waiver flying with this rather immature rocket technology. Let's put those decouplers there and get our solid boosters. The RT-10 hammers. Put those on the side. And we want to be able to recover them if at all possible. So put some structural adapters here and parachutes. Like that. Okay. Let's move these down a little bit. Can sit on the boosters on the launch pad. About like that. Too far maybe? Let's make sure the decouplers are still attached to that main fuel tank. Like that. That should be good. Okay, we need mystery goo. Get some data from the upper atmosphere on this flight. And let's recess them in a little bit. Just like that. Tidy it up. That should be good. Now, we have a 30-part limit currently in the VAB, so gonna have to make some sacrifices here. I think we don't need these anymore because we've done temperature and pressure scans from the upper atmosphere already. And maybe we will lengthen this a bit. Add a bit more fuel. I think that should be okay. We'll need to lower the thrust on these boosters. They're probably a little excessive. Lower them to 40. That should be sufficient. Let's set up our staging here. Boosters and engine, and then our radial decouplers along with our booster parachutes. And put our top parachute in the final stage. And what else do we need? Got our maximum parts, got our 3 cabins, mystery goo, new stuff. I think this should all be good. Let's get our pilot. Jebediah is already in there. He's eager to go on his first rocket flight. Let's put Cylin and Milbald in their capsules as well. Okay, now we should be good to launch. Let's save this first. Still an LTX torch with side boosters. We will call it Money for Boosters. That's a good name for a ship. Save that. And let's launch. Craft too heavy. Okay, I guess we'll have to upgrade our launch pad. I think that will be within our means. Let's exit. Okay, so upgrading the launch pad will cost 75,000, which will be fine. What else? Do we want to upgrade anything else? Oh, the astronaut complex. Yes, Jeb can go on an EVA while in orbit. That seems like it would be good, so let's grab that. Patch conics. No, we don't need patch conics yet, so we can leave that alone. Okay, I think this is all good. So let's head back to BAB. Here we are on the launch pad with Jebediah and our wealthy clients, Cylin and Milbald. Hopefully Jeb will be able to keep them safe. Okay, our staging looks good. Let's throttle up to about 2/3. Put on stability assist. And we should be good to go. In 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Alright, we have science experiment available already. The mystery goo, but I think I'll save lower atmosphere mystery goo for a airplane flight because we only have 2 uses on this mission and I would like to get some data from space. Jebediah is quite happy to be on his first rocket flight. Milbald and Cylin seem somewhat concerned about this. Hopefully they'll be happy once they're properly in space. Solid fuel is about to run out, so we will jettison our boosters. Hopefully they will be able to be recovered intact. Let's throttle up. Start our pitch over. Seems like every time I try to do a natural gravity turn, it's either too shallow or too steep, so I'm gonna try to guide this manually this time. Okay, getting past 10 kilometers. Let's take a look at our map view. Apoapsis is up at 18. Could probably steepen this a little bit. Not wobbling a little bit. Let's turn the stability assist back on. Okay, are we in upper atmosphere yet? EVA report. Jeb, you crazy guy, you're not going on EVA. Upper atmosphere. The goo shrinks as it cools and small bubbles burst from its surface as the pressure decreases. Okay, let's keep that. A little bit off course, let's try to nudge that in the right direction. Getting a little bit of compression heating, so let's throttle down just a little bit. How's our apoapsis looking? 50 kilometers? Ooh, it's getting quite warm. Throttle down. Okay, I think we're getting out of the thickest part of the atmosphere now. $63, 64. I guess this will just be a suborbital flight. Okay, that'll be good. Yeah, we're just about out of fuel. I think that trajectory ended up being too shallow. Still need to refine our flight paths. Okay, I think Jeb might be able to get out when we're above 65 and sample the very highest regions of the atmosphere. Okay, let's do an EVA. Science is worth the risk. Oh, hold on, Jeb. Okay, EVA report. The wing tugs at you. This feels very dangerous. Well, yes indeed. So let's get back in. Okay, we should be in space proper shortly. Looks like our rocket's drifting a little bit. Okay, we are in space. We have officially left the atmosphere. Let's do a mystery observation. The goo floats in its container, having formed a small sphere. How's this look from Jeb's perspective? Not like much. Let's turn our stars. There's the planet. That's a nice view. Okay. Let's get our science done. Another EVA report to take. It's from above Kerbin's water. Floating in the abyss of space, you feel a bit disoriented. Alright. And board. We should be able to get some EVA reports from over the land here when we pass over. Is my ship glowing? I'm not sure. Something is causing that. I'm not sure if that's heating damage or Dang It, which I installed recently after someone suggested it. Anyway, these tanks are all empty. They're of no use to us anymore. So that's fine. Let's get Jeb out again. See what else he can see here. From above Kerbin shores, the shallower water looks a different color than the deep oceans. Okay, and we will store our experiments back in. Take another one. The bright green below reminds you of home. Kerbin's grasslands. Okay. Shores and grasslands. Do we have anything else we can get? Grasslands. No, I think that's it. Okay, let's board back in. Oh, I took 2 grasslands, so we only need 1 of those. Let's get our ship pointed retrograde so we can ditch this stage. We are just starting to re-enter the atmosphere. No, there's retrograde. So let's ditch it. So I'm going to disable torque on the 2 of the capsules so we don't burn our electric charge too much. Although I think stability assist should not be necessary and these will stabilize themselves. Looks like we're going to come down probably in the water. So that's okay. Okay, we're starting to get compression heating. Goodbye launch stage. Oh, you got 3 planets. Eve. Duna, I guess. Moho? I think those are. Okay, how's our blade of shielding doing? It's going down. Wait a minute. Why do the top 2 pods have less than this one? This one has 250, but these 2 both have only 100. That's interesting. I'll have to check what that's all about. What? Oh, it's our launch stage is disintegrating. Scared me for a moment. Okay, everything looks okay with this 3 capsule arrangement. Still going quite quickly. And the G-forces are going up, approaching 5 Gs. Okay, looks like we peaked at about 5 and now we're slowing down quite a bit. Once we're down below the speed of sound, we can probably deploy our chute. So about now, there it goes. Okay, sailing down to the surface. Come on, shoot. This looks a little... There it goes. Ooh. That was a pretty hard splashdown. Hope everyone was wearing their mouth guards. Hard landings can be rough on the teeth. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else we can do here right now. So, we will wait for these 3 to get picked up by the recovery teams. Okay, 23 science. That puts us back up over 45, so we can get that rocket engineering. Good, good. We got 68% of our value back, although that's just for our capsules, not for our launch stage, obviously. Our tourists got some experience, but that doesn't really help us. So, let's head to R&D. And can pick up rocket engineering, or is that really what we want? We do have access to both the Terrier and the radial decouplers currently. through those 2 contracts. As long as we don't complete them, we will keep access to those. So what are our other options? That one takes 90, so that's not within reach. We got more batteries, not really necessary. More parachutes. Parts containers and such. Alloys has a lot of different things. Big fuel tanks could be nice, because could reduce our part count on our rockets. We also have the service bays. Actually, I think I have the smaller service bay already. Yeah, I do. Okay. That would be the one I'd want anyway. Vehicle engineering, no. Turbine engines. Just turboprops, jets. No, not really necessary. Okay, I think rocket engineering after all. So let's grab that. That leads on to reaction wheels and advanced gimbals. Okay. Let's look at our messages here. Stage is destroyed. Okay, look, this looks like our boosters. Yeah, okay, that's good. Those boosters were successfully recovered on liftoff. And we got some money for our tourists and money and science for science data from space. Good, good. Still haven't recouped our original cost though from upgrading those 2 buildings. Let's go back to mission control and see what we got. Okay, so we still have a lot of the immune stuff. Test solid booster landed. It's a bit of money. Might be okay. Mark II lander can in flight. 0 to 700. 1200 meters. We might just be able to boost that up in a rocket. That would be okay. Stack decoupler. Still not sure about that one. Definitely think this one and the lander can probably be okay. This one's new. Test mark 1-2 command pod landed at the Mune. Yeah. Well, once we go into the Mune, I think this will be a good contract to take, but we'll leave it for now. Okay, I think that about does it for this episode. Plan for the next episode will be to continue our fundraising and modify the SA2 Kestrel to correct for some of its deficiencies we discovered on its previous flight, and then perhaps we will take it to one of the extreme biomes on Kerbal. So, I hope you enjoyed this. This has been Promi. Thanks for watching.